Thank you, Shelby, so much for that kind introduction. Sorry, I didn't think I would cry. But hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Cassandra Joseph, and my son Jacoby and I are proud Room to Grow graduates of the class of 2021. I'm grateful to be sharing my story live from Room to Grow's Dorchester office, and I'm even more honored to be sharing this podium with Shelby, my Room to Grow clinician who has given me so much support over the last 3 years of this journey as a first-time single mom. When I think about my motherhood journey, I think back to the time when I first found out I was pregnant. I was shocked. So shocked that I remember the breath completely leaving my body. At that point in time in my life, I was 26 and just moved out of my parents' house, which was a really big deal. Growing up in a strict Haitian family, you're expected to leave your parents' home once you get married and not a minute sooner. Also, my son's father and I, we were not together, and our relationship when we were together wasn't a healthy one. So I found myself pregnant at a time when I was figuring out how to be on my own for the first time in my life and not at all thinking about becoming a mother. I felt alone and very afraid. I'm the kind of person that goes MIA when things go wrong in my life. And at this time, I stopped speaking to my friends and I fell into a very deep depression, because I was unsure if I was going to continue my pregnancy. This decision weighed on me heavily, and it was always looming in the back of my mind. Then one day, my friends invited me to go shopping and to go grab a bite to eat. I was happy and laughing for the first time in a really long time. On my drive home, I made the decision to keep my baby. And at that moment, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. And although I knew the road ahead would be challenging, I knew it was the right decision for me. I was also, at that moment, I realized that if I was going to tackle raising a child on my own, I would need support. But seeking support programs and resources turned out to be more challenging than I thought. I didn't seem to qualify for any of them, and it was very discouraging. Finally, after speaking to my OBGYN at Beth Israel, I was connected to Room to Grow. Getting into the program eased my mind a bit, and I was very excited for my first appointment. As soon as I walked into the Room to Grow office space, I was greeted with toys, books, and bright clothes displayed all around. I immediately felt welcomed and at peace. More importantly, I was greeted with a warm smile. I remember leaving my first Room to Grow appointment feeling a little bit more prepared for everything that was about to come. I felt like someone had my back and I wasn't totally by myself. Over the 3 years in the program, Shelby truly became my sounding board. She was there as I achieved major milestones and overcame some of my biggest challenges, like moving back into my parents' house, finding a place of my own for Jacoby and I, finding a secure remote job before the pandemic, and navigating co-parenting with someone who was not easy to co-parent with. Then, of course, there were the books, clothes, and toys. I left every visit not worrying that my son wouldn't have what he needed to thrive. And boy, has he thrived. Jacoby is now 3. He's in preschool. He's very kind, funny, curious, helpful, and talkative. Very talkative. He loves trucks, music, and arts and crafts. But more importantly, he has taught me the greatest life lessons. He's given me the confidence to advocate for myself. And because of him, my dreams and goals have new meaning. He is the world to me, and I want the world for him. Beyond a happy and healthy childhood, I hope Jacoby grows up to be confident in who he is as a Black boy and man, and that he shows up and occupies every space that he steps into. For myself, I plan to continue building my podcast, Dear Fellow Black Single Mom, and attend grad school in the fall of 2022 to become a social worker. Currently, I'm working on launching my own business called the Deep Work Collective, a safe space created for Black women by a fellow Black woman to unpack trauma, gain clarity, find tools to heal, and live the lives that we deserve and desire to live. Safe spaces like the one that Room to Grow provided for me and all its families. When I look back at my Room to Grow experience, the most important thing Shelby in the program provided me was validation. During every visit, I was reminded that I'm a really great mom and I'm doing a great job. And there were a lot of times that I really needed to hear that. Thank you so much for listening to my story, and I hope you can see how much of a difference Room to Grow makes for families like mine. Thank you.